covered overtime. Oh, gee, baby. What happened to Marie Harf? She was on the TV version of us.
She vaporized. It was quite sad.
She had to scoot to her train. She's back to D.C., I believe.
On the radio with Guy Benson tonight on Fox News
awesome.
Radio.
6 to 9 p.m. Eastern?
Right.
Right.
I frequent one lucky guy on this show.
Doing a little ditty.
The luckiest one lucky guy.
The luckiest.
Aw, you were lucky.
Lucky dog.
Lucky. You know, I started this conversation, then we had some breaking news because we've got Hurricane Irma, the largest hurricane in Atlantic Ocean history.
It's so hard to believe.
It is. It is a beast. I can't even come up with a word I can use on TV.
The
we're on the web.
That we've seen and the damage they've done, to think that this is, like, in historical terms, is the biggest. But what does that mean? It's the biggest in the Atlantic Basin, meaning there have been larger ones elsewhere?
185 miles per hour. It's fast moving, and the size of the storm, how not the circumference, but from the nucleus to the out. So it's just a beast in its size and in its wind capability because it can sweep up so much ocean surge.
But when they stipulate that this is the largest in the Atlantic, does that mean that there are other places where there have been even
I don't know that.
Higher winds?
I don't know that. I need to call
185 miles an hour.
To see, I need to call my hotline.
That'll lay your hood on.
Well,
back.
and not to mention
that's
the
a
fact
metaphor for something.
That oh goodness, where'd we go? All right, let's move on. You guys are making funnies.
No, it's not really. If
We're
I'm
speaking
making
euphemistically.
Oh, okay.
Which you have to do in times of crisis.
Or as a parent.
Yes,
right.
well, that's times of crisis quite often. But what I was going to say is, with all the things that we have going on today, it just seems like we are in a vortex of news. And it's hard. I brought with me the list that Senator Mitch McConnell put out yesterday
of what they
have to do. And I'm not going to read the list, but it is 2 pages long in very small print. Are they going to get to all this stuff?
I don't think so, but I think they'll get to important things. I think that they'll.
It's all important.
They're going to get to immigration reform in 6 months?
My list.
I don't know.
We were supposed to have tax reform done by August, according to Steve Mnuchin.
Why don't we have it?
And you know, like we were talking about with the Iran deal, if Donald Trump then rolls that grenade down Pennsylvania Avenue into Congress, it's going to be just one more thing. And the fact that you have Republicans like looking to the president saying you need to show us how to do this. They're the experts. They're the ones that have been around forever.
So the deadline for the debt ceiling is what, next week?
September 29th.
Oh, okay. So we have a couple of weeks. That seems like an eternity in terms of how Congress operates, right? 2 weeks.
And they do
3 weeks.
And their ability to come up with some huge monstrosity of a bill at the last minute is pretty amazing.
Well, look at the Harvey Aid bill Part 2. So the first one went through the House at $8 billion, but that's just the first chunk of money that happened while we were live.
But here's my question about
the next one has the debt ceiling attached to it.
All right. So, but this is my question.
Unfortunately, it has to, because even $8 billion bumps into the debt ceiling because Congress spends way too much money.
Well, this is my question. Great. We come up with an $8 billion bill. It's sitting there. Everybody obviously wants to get on board to support it. Here's my question. Why aren't we just as urgently cutting $8 billion from the Department of Labor, the Department of Education?
Now that's just too reasonable.
Why not have the same amount of urgency focused on that? I think most Americans would get behind.
I go back to Thomas Massey's bill. He had a simple 2-line bill that said Congress shall dismantle the Department of Education. It was so simple. It was beautiful and elegant, and it basically said Department of Ed done. And there's so many agencies like that we could completely get rid of, and believe it or not, the world would still continue to function. And that's one thing that people who've been in government for too long, they don't realize that the world would continue to turn.
And how long would it be before the average American even knew that you had abolished the Department of Education? One of my biggest hopes
it's like when your neighbor
Trump
mummifies in her rocking chair.
Oh, Lord.
I would hope you would know that before. Maybe not. But that was why my biggest hope for Donald Trump was that he was going to go down the mall and turn every single one of those Soviet-era Department of Labor buildings into a Trump casino. And then it would bankrupt, and then we could turn it back to green space. And then America would be great again.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right.
I mean, you like green space, right?
I look forward to the day the Earth reconsumes itself. I think that would be beautiful.
I think we're on the verge of it.
I don't know where we're going. Tax reform. The president's on his way to North Dakota.
We're not going there.
What? Really?
Unfortunately, I truly worry. I think that's the most important thing that Congress could tackle.
Wow.
I think we are obligated to get the economy going for businesses, for individuals, for corporations. There has to be meaningful, long-term, big-picture tax reform.
Yep.
And you know, it's sad because, like on immigration, I think that there are so many people in Congress who are terrified of their own shadow, and they're terrified of doing something big and bold, and they have to legislate as though they're going to be fired. That's the only way they're going to get anything done, and no one's brave enough to do that. Charlie?
All right, I want to go to the live chat, MB202. And by the way, you can hit us up on the live chat, or if you are watching us by Facebook, you can leave some messages there too, because we like to read that on Facebook Live. With President Trump in office, we can no longer act like these divisions don't exist. I personally like it better in the open like this. He's talking about, I would imagine, divisions all across the board.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, all of these fights between Republicans on both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue, it's terrific. It's exactly what the founders envisioned. And the idea that over the past 40 years that where you have, if a Democrat controls the White House, then Democrats in Congress, and Republicans do this too. So if a Republican is in the White House, Republicans in Congress are supposed to protect the president or work in cahoots with the president. No, they were always supposed to be adversarial. And they're supposed to
That's how everything was set up.
Yeah, and that's how that way it's like having two people count the church money at church. They look after one another and make sure that nobody's stealing. Now they're just all doing it, and
well, that's because God's watching.
Look busy.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you don't want to really come up short counting the church money.
Yeah, but you still have another person there.
Yeah, I wish Congress looked at the American people with any sort of respect in that sense. And I'm not saying all the members, but they do spend our money like they think we're not watching.
Look how quickly they come up with an $8 billion bill. They have no problem with it.
Well, no. They needed to do that. The White House said
fine.
The president just made 2 trips. You need $7.9 billion. You got to help those people down in Texas. That ought to be the simple stuff that they do. What's complicated is, I guess, health care. I mean, I guess what's complicated is the things that they have all this time to work on. They don't have much time to work on that. That's needed now.
That's a really good point. What terrifies me about that is the bipartisan, those stinky bills that are floating around now. And because all they are is billions of dollars to prop up these cronyist insurance companies that are holding the country and our healthcare system hostage.
When it's bipartisan, grab your wallet
it's even
and
worse.
run.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of these Republicans are socialists at heart.
Oh, wow. I'm just
mean
reading here on the, you know what? This is interesting from Canadian Reject. I'm sure that's not this person's real name. The economy is everything. We aren't talking about it. The economy is doing well right now, right?
Well, we were
Unless
just talking about it.
Unless you can't afford to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's not doing well.
Well, tax reform.
That's the thing. Like, if you're still struggling to pay your bills, to pay all of your bills in a single month, and you don't have, like 70% of Americans don't have $500 in your savings account, hearing that the stock market's doing great and consumer confidence is way up and all these economic indicators, your personal economy is the only one that matters.
So we all know that. We're talking about that,
I'm not
right?
a socialist. I'm an individualist.
People aren't feeling it at that baseline, but Democrats are looking for a message. Why don't they use that one? That we know that you're not yet feeling the economy that they're feeling on Wall Street. I mean, I ask it as an open question. The economy is doing well to the Democrats or no?
But I mean, it's a good question, and it goes both ways. Why aren't Republicans talking about it more? I think the reason Republicans aren't talking about it more is because they so hate Donald Trump. I mean, by Republicans, I mean Republicans in Congress. Do you think
they really feel that strongly against him?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think that they see him. I think an alarming number of Republican members of Congress would regret that he won and would be more content having the age-old stupid political fights with Hillary Clinton than having because he shines a bright light on tough issues. He's willing to call them out, and that's very uncomfortable.
It's interesting because Bernie Sanders actually does make a very effective economic argument. The problem is it's illogical. Like, it's filled with fallacies. It just sounds really attractive. So he is talking about economics in a way that resonates with people who've been hurting for almost a decade.
Oh, there you have it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching us on Facebook Live. It's been fun to watch all the little hearts and bubbles. We'll see you tomorrow.